Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my parents' basement in the great state of Kansas. And I've done my 10 favorite directors, my 10 favorite actors. So naturally, I need to talk about my 10 favorite actresses. So this will be my 10 favorite actresses part one of my list. So I'll cover 10 through 6 in this video. Interesting doing actresses. I found it a little bit harder to come up with my top 10 actresses compared to my top 10 actors. I have a little bit easier time coming with that. And there's something really different about an actress performance compared to an actor performance to me. And that's because I'm a guy, so I'm attracted to women. And so it's different when I look at actresses. I definitely tend to put the actresses that I find the most attractive on my list. Not all of them, but some of them I put on the list just for their acting ability. Some of them it's a mixture of their acting ability and just that I'm really attracted to them as well, which is different than the actor list, which is all about just how good of an actor they are, and not attractiveness doesn't play any part of that list. So yeah, so this would be a different list. There's definitely more modern actresses on this list, actresses I grew up with, in the 90s, 2000s, and today that work today as well. There's only one actress really that is before my time that I have on the list. And so a couple actresses maybe that worked more in the 70s period or something, or 80s period, stuff like that. Unlike my actress list, which I had a lot of actors from way before my time that I absolutely enjoy watching the movies. And yeah, so I don't know. So my list is a little bit different because of that. And you'll see these are my 10 favorite actresses. These are actresses that I love seeing on screen, or if they're in a movie, I might watch it just for them. And so that's how I kind of categorize it. Not necessarily the 10 best actresses ever, but the 10 I enjoy the most anyway. So let's get to number 10 on my list. Number 10 for me, I put Drew Barrymore on here. Yeah, Drew Barrymore. Again, it might be a little surprising. She's not like an Oscar nominated actress ever, or does, serious movies and all that. But this is definitely in the category of actress that I was very attracted to growing up in the 90s, 2000 period. And really I put her in here because she's done my favorite romantic comedies of all time. And again, I'm not like a big romantic comedy guy necessarily, but the one romantic comedies I do love tend to star Drew Barrymore. So for me, Drew Barrymore is like the queen of romantic comedies. And I don't know what it is about her. Again, it's partly she's, I find her very attractive first, and then second, she's very funny, I think. And so she just perfect for romantic comedies and she's so likable. I don't know, she's very good at portraying a very likable girl that you can fall in love with. Again, for me, if I can fall in love with the actress while I'm watching the movie, to me that was a good performance. And that's why I love some of these actresses, because I'm meant to fall in love with them, just like the main actor anyway. So, of course, Ray Barrymore, started all the way from E.T. and did a lot of stuff in her younger days. I knew that as a kid, maybe, but um, really it was with like the Adam Sandler romantic comedies, especially Wedding Singer was really the movie I really started liking Drew Barrymore. And she's done some other romantic comedies that I'm not into. I know my sister Abby loves some of the other stuff she's done, but for me, it started with like The Wedding Singer. I thought was a really fun movie, and I was a big Adam Sandler fan growing up, and yeah, I really liked her in that. My favorite romantic comedy of her is Music and Lyrics. Music and Lyrics is such a good movie with Hugh Grant as the main character and him falling in love uh, with Drew Barrymore. And again, Drew Barrymore is just so funny, so likable, and you really root for that relationship. And it's actually got it's a very funny movie, but it's got some sweet moments. At the end, he sings this song that, because they have the breakup part, of course, of any romantic comedy. And then he sings this really nice, sweet song, and they get back together. Love the ending of that movie, so good. 51st Dates is another favorite romantic comedy of mine. My favorite, probably Adam Sandler movie. Again, it's very funny. It's got a really good premise of, Drew Barrymore, forgetting every day her memory starts over again, and how does he get her to fall in love with him every day? It's a great premise for a romantic comedy, and one of, I think, Adam Sandler's, though it can be very silly at times, very nice and sweet though. Again, kind of like Wedding Singer, it has some of the sweetest moments, and you really feel the relationship and the falling in love, and you really root for them, to get. They have so many difficulties, and then when they end up together at the end, it's such a lovely moment. And again, Drew Barrymore so good in that. And I also mentioned one other movie I really love, and that's Fever Pitch, which is Jimmy Fallon. Really good Jimmy Fallon movie. Jimmy Fallon didn't do very many movies, and Jimmy Fallon very close to like Adam Sandler in his comedic, you know, style. And again, a movie where you know, a lot of trouble with, he loves the Red Sox and he's giving up the Red Sox for her, but then he regrets it and all that. And again, there has some actually nice, sweet moments in that movie as well. Very funny. I think Jimmy Fallon's great in it. Again, Drew Barrymore. Again, these are like three of my favorite romantic comedies, and Drew Barrymore, or four of my favorite romantic comedies, and Drew Barrymore is in all four of them. So I had to put her on my list because I go, gosh, I love just about everything she does, romantic comedy wise. So, yep, Drew Barrymore, number 10 on my list. Number 9 on my list, I have Viola Davis. And I put her in here because she's just straight out one of the greatest actresses I've seen on screen. And I don't even really like a lot of the movies she's necessarily in or whatnot, but man, when she's on screen, she commands she has presence. She commands your attention, and just she can straight out probably out act just about anybody on my list. To be honest, I just haven't seen a lot of films with her in it. That's why she's not gonna be too high on my list. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of movies, but I gotta put her in here just because how good she is. I really came aware of her because of the movie Doubt, which I thought was actually a pretty good movie, and has three of my actresses that are on my list actually in that movie. That's how good a movie that or good the acting is in that movie. Um, but Viola Davis only has a short scene, and she got nominated for Best Supporting Actress. And I was like, how did she get nominated for such a short scene? And then I saw the movie, and I go, yeah, that was a great scene that she was in. She gave such a great performance. I was like, yeah, that was great, and that's put me on the line. To go, who is Viola Davis? Like anytime she shows up, I'm like, oh, Viola Davis. That man, she can act. And the next movie or so that I saw of hers was Help, which Help was such a good movie. She gave such a great performance, just amazing performance. She should have won Best Actress for that role. She was so good in Help. I was really shocked when she didn't win Best Actress. Meryl Streep beat her for her third Oscar for The Iron Lady, which was fine performance, and Meryl Streep's a great actress. But I thought Viola Davis got so robbed on the Help movie. That kind of made me mad when she didn't win. But yeah, that definitely was my favorite performance of hers, and probably my favorite movie that she's done. Also, shout out Fences, where she did win her Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Not a movie I really enjoy, but the Denzel Washington and Viola Davis can act the heck out of that movie, and you watch it just to see those two act alongside each other. And I'm glad she won the Oscar because it was another really great dramatic performance. Also, Mama's or what's it called? Mama's Rainy Bottom, whatever movie. I didn't like the movie. I actually hated that movie. I kind of hated her character, but she got nominated again for that role. And did a good job, I think, though I didn't like the character. But anyways, besides that, yeah, she's definitely an actress that if you put her in a dramatic role, she's going to be Oscar nominated for it. She's so good. So yeah, Viola Davis here at number 9 on my list. Number 8, I got Natalie Portman. My friend Mike might be shocked by this, or he might not be happy that he doesn't like Natalie Portman. I don't understand it. Natalie Portman is definitely on the list because she's, to me, one of the most attractive actresses I've ever seen on screen, and I was in love with her since I was in high school and saw her in the Star Wars movies. Obviously, she's I don't know, absolutely incredibly beautiful, and also a very good actress though, and has won an Oscar and been nominated a couple times herself, anyways. But of course, I knew her from Leon the Professional. She was just a little kid, her first movie. But definitely, Star Wars is the one. I even saw Mars Attacks, but I didn't remember her in that movie. So it was really Star Wars Episode One, The Phantom Menace, that she really, because I was a big Star Wars fan. So when that came out, of course, I was for I was there opening weekend, and she definitely became a big star off that movie. Say what you will about the movie, the trilogy itself. And I thought she did a fine job in the movie and all that. But definitely, I was a big fan of her after Star Wars, and it was definitely on my eye was on whatever she's doing after that. Um, the movie I really love is Garden State. That's my favorite performance of hers. She's very funny and quirky in that movie, and that's definitely a movie I really want. I fell in love with Natalie Portman. I was like, oh man, she's one of my favorite actresses. She's just so darn cute in that movie. I love her. She's done some good stuff like Closer. She plays a stripper, and she gets an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress. And then later on, she did Jackie, where she played uh, Jackie Kennedy, and she got another Oscar nomination, another really good performance. Oh, and Black Swan, of course, obviously Black Swan, she won her Oscar for. Not a big fan of the movie, but she did a great job, very deserving of the Oscar. So glad she won one for that. So she's definitely a combination of great looking actress who also has put out some pretty good performances out there, and she was in Star Wars. So she's number 8 on my list. Number 7, I have Julianne Moore. Another actress that I kind of came aware of in the '90s period, and she's definitely one of the best actresses I think working today. Definitely one. Anytime I see her in a movie, she gives a great performance. I think. I want to say maybe the first movie I was aware of was Jurassic Lost World, Jurassic Park. The second Jurassic Park movie. She was in there with Jeff Goldblum, and she did a fine job. And I actually really liked that movie, and all that. And she was in that, and she's another actress I find very attractive. I thought she was really attractive in that. I know she also did Boogie Nights around that time. I've never seen Boogie Nights, but I know she got like an Oscar nomination because I remember that was going up against Titanic. I think she got a supporting actress nomination or something. Anyways, so I haven't seen that movie, but I know she gave, I guess it was somewhat of a star making vehicle for her as well. Um, but of course, I've seen her in all kinds of movies here and there. Far From Heaven, I thought was a really good performance. I actually really liked her in that. But what really puts her on this list, I mean, like the kids are all right. I think she does a good job there, and even in her 50s, like she's still pretty darn good looking. I still am very attracted to her. Her and Natalie Portman just made a movie recently called May December. It was kind of one of the last movies I saw of her that got like a lot of Oscar. I don't know if they got nominated, but I know it got like a lot of Oscar buzz. But the movie that really puts her on the list is Still Alice. Still Alice is a really good movie, and she won her Oscar for Best Actress for it. And she gave one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. I think that was definitely a movie I was like, man, Julianne Moore, I thought was a good actress. That movie made her one of my favorite actresses. And if you don't know, Still Alice, based on kind of, I don't know if it's a true story, but based on, somewhat true things that have happened. Where she plays a woman in her 50s who gets early onset Alzheimer's, and she's an English professor who starts forgetting, starts losing her memory. And you see her like slowly losing her memory during the movie to where she's, totally lost all of her memories kind of at the end. It's a very heartbreaking movie, but for someone like me who's worked in healthcare for 14 years, and I've been working with people with Alzheimer's, for those 14 years, I see what it's like. I kind of, see the um, what they act like, and all that, and um, all the subtleties of getting Alzheimer's. And so that movie, man, she really made me believe she had Alzheimer's. I mean, you really saw, as she slowly is losing her memory. It reminded me so much of some of the patients I've worked with, the residents I've worked with in the past, that I was just amazed. I was like, yeah, she totally nailed it. That's exactly what someone with Alzheimer's acts like. So for me, it was one, I would say it's maybe a top 10 favorite performance of all time for me. I think it's that good of a performance. Yeah, definitely one to check out Still House. But yeah, Julianne Moore here, number 7 on my list. All right, the last actress I'll talk about on part 1. Number 6 on my list, we got Scarlett Johansson. This is definitely one where, man, she is incredibly good looking, one of the best good looking actresses in the last 20 years. I mean, definitely fell in love with her at a young age. And now she's about my age, basically, and she's still incredibly good looking. And she also has some Oscar nominations under her belt. And I think when given good roles, she can give great performances. Um, I really came aware of her actually from the Lost in Translation. Um, yeah, I know she was in movies as a kid. I didn't really see, but that was the first one where it felt like she was really becoming a big star. And after that, she really became like an A-level star and could really, carry a movie. And that was an interesting movie with her and Bill Murray. I didn't like the movie. I thought her performance was fine in it. Um, but she was so good looking. The movie starts with her like in her underwear. Like it's almost like a close up of her butt in her underwear. it is like a little alarming when you first see it. You go, well, like, whoa, geez, like what, like this is a little, gratuitous here, but she is so good looking. You're like, holy cow. I remember watching it and going, I was watching it with my sister Abby, my older sister, and the first, yeah, like the credits, it's her in her underwear, and you can't see her face. And I said, I was like, is that Scarlett Johansson? Like wow, she's showing a lot of skin right at the beginning of the movie. And my sister said, well, I don't think it's Bill Murray, which made me laugh really hard. I thought that was funny. Yeah, I was like, yeah, well, obviously it's Natalie Portman. I mean, obviously Scarlett Johansson. Who else would it be? But yeah, it was my first. But after that, obviously, I fell in love with her. I was like, man, I really love Scarlett Johansson. Anytime she's in a movie, I want to see what she's doing because she's so darn good looking. And she'd be in a lot of movies here and there. I'm trying to think of a movie that really caught my eye. Of course, I mean, it's hard to talk about her without talking about the Avenger movies. She's one of the original Avengers. She came in Iron Man 2 as Black Widow. Black Widow, great character. Love the character. Love her skin-tight black suit. I mean, how could you not? She definitely looked good in the role, and she was great. She was funny. She did act. She looked good in the action scenes, though. I know a lot of it's her, her double doing it, but still, she looked really good in the role. She was in a lot of those movies that are really great. Love a lot of those movies. She had her own Black Widow movie, which was okay. But of course now she's like has nothing to do with that series, I think. But still, you have to say that's been definitely her definitive role, is the Black Widow character, which has been great. But yeah, she's been in, every time I see her, I've enjoyed her in movies. I think though 2019 is what really puts her on my list as a great actress, and that is she did 2 movies and got double nominated for Oscars. One, Marriage Story, which is a really hard movie to watch because it's about the breakup of a marriage. But in my opinion, she gave the best performance of the year, should have won the Oscar. I think she lost to Renee Zellweger for Judy, which was a fine performance, but man, Scarlett Johansson gave her best performance, in my opinion, that I've ever seen. Got nominated for Best Actress, should have won for Marriage Story. I thought she was really great in that. She also was in Jojo Rabbit that year and got an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress, and she gave a really good performance in that movie too, and I thought that was a really good movie. So yeah, for those 2 performances, that really just go, wow, she went from not only a great looking actress, but really one of the top actresses today, almost underrated to me. She, like I said, she should be Oscar nominated. She should have won an Oscar at this point. So I'm hoping she gets more Oscar roles in the future now. We will see. Oh, I was going to mention, I also mentioned the movie Her. In the movie Her, you don't see her, you only hear her voice because she plays the voice of the computer, basically, that Joaquin Phoenix talks to during the movie. And though I can't see Scarlett Johansson, I fell in love with that computer just because her voice. Her voice is so good. I wouldn't say it's so sexy or something, but I don't know, something about it. Like I was watching that movie and I go, man, how could you fall in love with a computer? And then it's like, if my computer sounded like Scarlett Johansson, I would fall in love with it too. That's how good Scarlett Johansson is as a voice actress, as well as being a good actress and all that, and while being good looking. Her voice is also attractive as well, I guess I'm saying anyway. So yeah, so I have to give her a lot of points for that. Make me fall in love with the computer just because of her voice. So yeah, Scarlett Johansson, number 6 on my list. Yeah, definitely another favorite actress of mine since the early 2000s. So yeah, so that's my first 5. Got 5 more to talk about in part 2s. But besides that, you can let me know some of your favorite actresses or on this video or the next video. Hopefully you'll tell me yourself. What do you think about these 5? Am I crazy putting these 5 on, or are they worthy? Besides that, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for liking it. And thank you to anybody, also I have to thank all my subscribers for supporting this channel. I appreciate you all and hope you have a good day.